welcome to the Footy Show. Great to have your company. Never a dull moment in footy, Jim. Of course, the news yesterday, the Western Bulldogs electing not to renew the contract of Rodney Eade, third coach for the year. Now, that was big news at the time. Development today. As of yesterday, he was coaching the 3 games out. As of today, severed ties completely. He joins us live on the set to speak exclusively about that and other stuff.
Looking forward to Rocket. And coaching, of course, Gary, the biggest story in football at the moment. 3 clubs in search of a coach. Our man, Damien Barrett, has the absolute landscape locked for you. So if you're at home and your club's in search of a coach, we'll tell you exactly what's going on with Damo a little later on.
Yeah, full of news as always is Damien Barrett. Greater West Sydney, of course, very active in the marketplace. Got targets for this year, but don't worry, Jim.
Yes.
They are looking next year. And their number 1 target is a man who plays at your football club.
I beg your pardon?
I'm going to tell you who that is very, very shortly.
Oh, we are. Now, look, Sam Newman took on the best 10-year-old golfer in the world and got his ass kicked during the week. So we're going to have vision of that. And also, by popular demand with our female audience, Gary, there are 3 footballers that they want to see on the panel. We've ticked a couple of them off already this year, but tonight we have a young man who is very high up. Well, he's a very good-looking man, Gary, and he is going to be out here a little later on. And joining him, another good-looking man and then one not as good-looking.
Rotund unit. What the other panellist, I might tell you, Jim, had an altercation in the car park with our very own Sam Newman. A serious altercation. So we're going to tell you about that and a street talk from Seymour. All that coming up. Let's get started. Coming up tonight, a lot of footy news around, and a man who's all over the football landscape at the moment. Everything that's happening, this man knows about. He played 300 games with the Geelong. Oh, yes. John Sammy Newman. Old Forza.
You must be, not you, Jimmy, but you must be very, very excited tonight, Gaz.
Why is that?
You could have a first interview with the prospective coach. Even though I think on that very, very high rating show on Monday's Football Classified, I think you might have said, was he up to it? Had the game passed him by?
Do you know what I said, or are you making that up?
Well, did you not say that?
No, I didn't say that.
Well, you said, you were querulous, I think is the word.
Querulous?
I'm sorry if I'm speaking English here. You were querulous as to whether he was up to the modern game. I think you might have said that. Very
fine coach, Rodney Eade, with a great record, and we're going to talk to him very, very shortly.
I
might have you do the interview for us.
No, I know that, but you might speak to him, that anyhow. And I was, you might have seen this on the front of the Herald Sun. This is a young man called Carl Phillips. And sometimes there's a duty in life. He's a 9-year-old, just turned 10. I took him out to Ainsbury, very fine golf course out near Melton. And I sometimes you got to take a peg or two from the little bastard, the little bloke. The little bloke, he's got ahead of himself, and I took him out just to show him what it was all about, and it didn't quite go to plan. But had a very entertaining day out there. Horrendous weather out at Ainsbury, but it probably was horrendous weather everywhere, not just exclusive to Ainsbury.
It's our information, Foss, that he tore you a new one.
Thank you, Jim. I didn't play, it wasn't my sharp, I'll be honest. He is the world underage champion.
Unbelievable.
Tiger Woods. He did what Tiger Woods did. He didn't do what Tiger Woods did. He did what Tiger Woods did at that age. I don't think Tiger had got his eye in by that stage.
Sorry, Foss.
Yeah, no, that's it. So,
looking forward to seeing
we are. We're looking forward to that, Foss. Also looking forward to the panel tonight. I mentioned off the top that we've got a couple of specials involved. Let's get started with the young Kyabram flyer from the Richmond Football Club. Back by popular demand, Brett Delidio's here on the Footy Show. And making his Footy Show debut from the Kangaroos, Andrew Swallow. And finally, he's back. The Mayor of Geelong, Bill Brownless.
No, you weren't kidding, Jim. It's a fine-looking panel. Let me start with Brett Delidio after 6 losses. A very nice win last week. Nice to be back in the winners' column, mate.
Yeah, absolutely, Gaz. It was a bit disappointing those previous 6 weeks, but good to get back on the board and good to sing the song again.
And also, what I want to touch straight off the top, a very hairy experience in the car park with that man.
Yes.
Now, tell us about this, because he's slightly embarrassed about it. You driving in your largish white four-wheel drive. Is that correct?
Yes, Gary, I was in the Toyota just pulling in about the back end of
In the Jeep.
Yep.
I think you were in probably, Brett, yep.
Maybe in this.
Yeah.
Jeep. But no, I was about to back in and there's a little car, I couldn't quite see it out the back of the windscreen and the back windshield and get this death stare looking straight at me. I was a bit nervous, but I think a few expletives come out of the mouth, Sam. But,
was there verbal abuse that came out of the small...
Finger pointing. But,
finger pointing and verbal abuse.
Yeah.
Was that you, Forza?
Well, Gary, please.
What happened?
Brett, if I may. Usually, when you're going to just go across 2 lanes with a view to reversing into a car park, some sort of indication. I just, because he slowed to a stop, I went out to pass him, and suddenly the big four-wheel drive drifts into me path, and I think I might have said, I think I invited him to come down to the FARC Academy, and, or words to that effect. And but you know, it was just off the.
Did you know who Brett was, Foss, or did you think he was a footy show intern?
I thought he might have been a cable man, or wasn't quite sure who he was. But then I suddenly realised. I thought, my God, I hope he's not one of the panel members, and he happened to be one. So I apologise about that, Brett. But that's just all in the heat of battle, isn't it?
All in a day's work. Lovely to have you there.
It's
Also
lovely
lovely to have
you
this
here.
man,
Don't worry
David.
about
Andrews. Got it written down 10 times here and I still got it wrong. But well done, mate. Great to have you on board. Big 3 weeks ahead for your footy club too. If you want to make finals footy, you've got to beat Freo for a start this weekend.
Yeah, really big couple of weeks coming up. Looking forward to getting out there, and Freo got a couple of players back, so looking forward to getting out there Saturday night. I think the members have a chance to win a car if you come along to the game, so hopefully we can win that, and then hopefully win the next couple and give ourselves a chance to play finals.
Not the first time I reckon you've been called, David, in your time. How is he going, the number 1 draft pick from last year? You're very close. How's he handled his first season, the big time?
Yeah, no, I think he's done really well. Obviously, it's been a tough year for the Gold Coast. A lot of young boys up there. I think they're getting a bit tired now as the season's going on. But he's been terrific at a great year, and if he comes down to the north, I reckon he'd probably be doing a bit better.
That's what we want to hear. We're into that business.
Smart man, I see here. Bachelor of Business, Banking, Accounting and Finance. So you keep yourself busy.
Yeah, getting through it slowly. So doing a bit of work experience as well at a place called Wealth Enhancers. So we're just ticking along, trying to.
I thought you were married.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
What did you say was?
So he's doing a bachelor.
Now you got married very young, didn't you?
Yeah, yep.
That's a bit of a waste, I would have thought, Sam. Look at him.
I found a good one and locked her away, so I'm very happy.
Mate, have a look at him.
Where about you were 23? Well, you were very firmly entrenched with the beautiful Dale, Nikki.
Yeah, I had to put a boy on, you know that, Gaz. I was at my best.
Just had a year off.
Yeah. I was very good at the lyric and things, let me tell you.
Were you studying a Bachelor of Business, Banking, Accounting and Finance at the time?
Something
Willis?
rhymes with... But, no, I was playing good footy, of course, and good to be on the show.
Yeah. You've been missing for a few weeks.
Have been critiquing the show, Gary, from home. It's very good, I think, and players do it. They should do it when you're not playing, to actually have a look at your side or have a look at the team here, how you go. A couple of things.
Yeah.
The pony last week, feeding him, that drove me mad. That mustn't have smelt that badly. You're carrying on like, Sam and you carrying on, and you and Jim yelling out, open your hand, feed it with your hand. Like, it's driving me mad.
We'll write that down, Bill.
Street talk.
Okay.
I think you just stay in Melbourne, Sam. Don't go to those country areas. They're a bit feral. And
come on, Bill.
And the Gary show. Gary this,
Yeah, it's
Gary
too much,
that.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
A photo came across out there, speaking of smart young men.
This
This caught our attention, Bill. This is a young Bill Brown. Let's have a look at their head.
There you go.
That was interesting, but read what it says underneath. Bill Brownless, a finely tuned football brain.
Yes.
Come on, Will.
Footy smarts, mate, I had.
Footy smarts. We'll put footy smarts to good use and talk us through the first game. Carlton and Hawthorn, Friday night.
How good is this? Fantastic game, 3 versus 4. Friday night football, packed house, 2 very good sides. There's the Carlton side, just one change there, an important change. Jamison comes in, and unfortunately, Zaki Tui goes out. He's been all right, and they take on the mighty Hawks, who have been outstanding this year. And no change for the Hawks. They had 15 different goal kickers last week. They shared it around beautifully, and wasn't it a pleasure to just watch Buddy and the Cyril show? Who's your favourite out of those, Spitter?
Yeah, I reckon Hawthorn will get it done. Obviously, a match-up between the midfields, Mitchell, Sewell, Hodge, Lewis. I think they'll be too strong down there.
Brett?
Yeah, I'll have to agree with you, Spitter. I'd have to say Cyril is probably the most exciting player in the AFL to watch. One of the great nicknames there, Spitter. But the Hawks for mine.
Samuel?
Don't even go there.
No.
What? Don't even go there. What are you tipping? Go where? Who are you tipping? Who are you tipping? What is that?
Sam, ask him his dad's name.
Ask him I was going to ask him what Spitter was.
No, I'll help you. Ask him his dad's name.
What's your dad's name? Oh, thank you, Bill. What's your dad's name? Spitter?
He's Ian.
Ian.
So it'd be Mr. I. Smiley.
Oh, thank you, Bill.
That's probably why we haven't had John for a while, Bill.
That's true, isn't it?
Yeah. Mr. Ice
David, Andrew and Ian.
That's right.
How many of you make a summer?
I like it, Foss.
What Spitter means, Gary?
Nothing.
please.
Well,
Ask Jim.
No,
Just a footy club nickname, Foss. Now, who's going to win this game?
Have I missed something?
no, I've
you
missed
haven't.
it as well. I'm not aware.
Carlton, Hawthorn, Foss.
Big game, Foss, this one.
Massive.
Oh, quintessential, Gary.
Yes, it is. For top 4. bragging
wow.
rights.
Oh, I'm going. I think Hawthorn might just take him, but I mean, how would we know? Who do you think, more importantly?
Yes.
I think the Blues are setting themselves for this one. I think they've really had this penciled in for a while, and I think they might do it.
Well done. I can't disagree with that. That's
Okay. Just an opinion?
They've planned this month out, do you?
I
They've
reckon
looked
they've
at
had
this
their
and
eye on
thought,
this
I'm
one.
going to plan this one out.
Their eye on this one for a while.
Oh, that is so much nonsense. No one plans games any more than a week ahead,
Don't
yes? I don't believe so.
How are we going on the footy show, you reckon, Foss, just in the last couple of weeks? How are we going?
What's that mean?
Oh, just...
You got something
I
there?
reckon how we're looking, you know, the way we've been practicing.
Absolutely. No, I'm still wondering what Spitter means.
Yes.
Now, Gary, just in case we've decided to do this, sometimes the show ebbs and flows between class and gets a little bit, sometimes blue, we work blue, and sometimes, and we think this is our monitor for kiddies who might be up late.
Barometer?
A sort of a barometer. This is the high, low, and medium brow indicator. So what we've done, guys, I believe we've started off on a highbrow note. When the chat came about Spitter, whatever that means, I reckon it probably got a bit medium brow. So we're going to just keep this monitored.
You're going to leave that there,
It's a warning, not all the time, but it's a warning to those folk. If you're drifting past the television and you've just tuned on and you want to know if it's safe for family viewing, we'll give you a barometer of what's coming up or what has just come up. And that's what we're going to do.
Gary,
Yes.
Don't have it there while Rodney Eade comes out. Sure. That'll be automatic highbrow.
No, that'll be highbrow because that'll be the highbrow part of the show, Gary. But it's medium at the minute with the Spitter reference.
Gary.
And I have no idea what that means.
That is funny. look at it. Look at the head on it.
Yeah, see, Jim, see? Hilarious.
Great big brow.
Real funny stuff. Get to the break, will you?
Oh, we must get to a break because Rodney Eade's going to join us next, so stick around on the Footy Show.
The pass mark for when we have to play a grand final, Rodney would know he has to win a flag for his own benefit. What will be, will be.
I mean, there's high expectations, and certainly this organisation, we know we want success.
Rodney is entering this year knowing what he has to do, knowing what the club has to do. We have no excuses.
We made a decision, and that decision was not to renew Rodney's contract.
I'm certainly disappointed. I'm bitterly disappointed.
We just feel it's time for a change.
We've got a lot to offer.
It's the actions, not the words that matter. I think we need to refresh. This pass mark has been blown out of all proportion. Our search for a new coach starts this afternoon.
Football yesterday. For the third time this year, a club and their coach have parted ways. In this case, it was Rodney Eade and the Western Bulldogs. 18th most games coached of all time, this man. 6.5 years at the Sydney Swans, including a grand final appearance, 7 years with the Western Bulldogs, including the last 3 preliminary finals. Western Bulldogs coach no longer. Please welcome Rodney Eade.
Very nice to see you.
Get rid of that, Samuel.
No, I'm getting rid of it, Gary. We're putting it up to high. This is a highbrow part of the show. Okay. Right, I'm just putting that down.
As long as it's not a high forehead.
No, exactly right. Hey, Rocket, welcome. Difficult day for you yesterday, I would imagine. The second time you've sat through something like that.
Yes, it is, Gary. A little bit different the second time. I think you get actually used to it. Yeah, it was a little bit, I suppose, not surprising, but it was quick. I didn't think it'd happen at that stage. And
So you expected it, did you?
well, I thought it was 50-50, Sam. Yeah, so I suppose you're in this caper, you know that you might get the guillotine at some stage.
So you saw it coming when then?
I didn't actually see it coming, but I thought it might happen.
So you seem pretty ticked off about it, to be honest.
Oh, well, I was disappointed. Yeah, there's no doubt.
No, you'd be disappointed. You seem really pissed off.
No, not really. I think you know that you're in this caper, that there's a chance you're not going to be there. I mean, as a coach, you make the decision for players as well, and whether you drop them or whether you put them off list, and they're obviously disappointed and angry as well, so you know that's going to come to you at some stage, and that's just part of footy, so you move on.
Were you put in an invidious position from day one this year when the President, David Smorgon, said anything less than playing in a grand final will be a failure? Surely you must have thought, my God, there is some pressure.
Well, he didn't say a failure, I think he said pass mark, actually, which is probably the same.
No, that would be one and the same.
But I think it was. I took that as more, and David clarified it later. I think it took more as a message to the supporters that as a club that hasn't had a premiership since '54, that we don't want to accept any mediocrity. We don't want to accept top 4 again or 6. So it was about, I think, as a message to the supporters.
It was Rocket. If I can jump in, and David spent most of this year backing away and clarifying that very statement. But when you look at that interview in its entirety, Damien Barrett said, "You're a smart man, David, you've been around long enough, you know what those words mean." And his answer to that was, what will be, will be. So he was really putting you on notice at that particular time.
Yeah, I think probably in the end it probably put more pressure on David, probably than myself as such. I mean, that sort of, those words didn't worry me as such. I think we're going to be judged by results. And he clarified that later with me, that, and I think publicly, the second and third time I got asked that there can be things like injuries, etc., etc. So that's an industry that's actually judged by the win-loss, isn't it? And the results were struggling this year, so they actually thought they needed a change. So.
Is 7 years long enough at a club? Do you subscribe to that in any way, shape or form?
I think the average is about 4 to 5 years. It's an interesting one. You have a look at Mick at Collingwood. I mean, Mick's been the caper for a long time, but it was 10 years before he was able to win one. Bomb was the same at Geelong. So, yeah, I think you can make a case either way.
When you finished the press conference yesterday, you were coaching the Western Bulldogs for the next 3 games to see out the year. Now, today that's changed, obviously, and we haven't heard the reasons why. So what led you to the decision to cut the ties completely now?
Yeah, when I got told yesterday morning, about 9 o'clock, and then you have a wide range of emotions. They wanted to have a press conference, I suppose, sooner than later. They wanted to do about 11:30. There was training going on, so you collect your thoughts a bit. I spoke to some senior players before they went to training. I thought I'd let them know rather than actually the meeting that was organised. And I spoke to about a dozen of them, and they were pretty keen, led by the captain, to be able to keep coaching the last 3 games. And I had mixed emotions about that. So I spoke to David and Simon Garlick that I would see the 3 games out. In the meantime, I spoke to a few people in footy that I respect, and then Peter Swab gave me a call, who obviously I played with and been fairly friendly with, and Peter went through the same scenario, and he said, I think he clarified my mind a bit, and then I got home, spoke to my wife, etc., and I thought, no, I don't think anything's to be gained out of it. I don't think I can gain anything out of it, and I think it'd be, I don't know what the right word is, maybe interesting, frustrating for people around the club, because they wouldn't know what to say to me. They'd be treading on eggshells. The club need to go forward, so I think it's best for everybody.
On an ironic note, Simon Garlick played under you at Sydney, and you sacked him?
No, I didn't sack him, Sam. I traded him.
I see. You dispensed with his services?
Well, that was actually the request of the Bulldogs. Chased him. Terry Wallace chased him.
Right.
Obviously saw something in him, and so it was a mutual decision.
Simon Garlick played under you at Sydney, and you traded him.
Clarification.
Then he played under you at the Bulldogs?
No, he didn't.
He didn't?
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
No. So you're stuffed now, aren't you?
All right.
I thought he played under you.
No, he didn't.
Oh, you thought too?
Yeah, I did.
No, I got appointed at the second last game of 2004, or announced, and that was Simon's last game for the Bulldogs.
So Simon Garlick played under you at Sydney, and you traded him.
And I half-sacked him at the Bulldogs.
You half-sacked him. Your sphincter must have tightened a fraction when he became the CEO of the Western Bulldogs. And he's maybe not got angry, he's got even with you.
No, that's not the case. I've got the
of
utmost
course
confidence in Simon. Simon's been a great support, to be honest. I really think that he's as much to do, and I like to think myself and a few others around the place be able to keep the place together this year when we had some pressure and some losses, and Simon's been a great support.
Now,
Fantastic.
Dave Smorgan said we need to freshen up. What do you think that means?
I think it means get a new coach.
No, but
a new
what
voice.
do you think you've just said a decade is reasonable time. You've mentioned Geelong.
Well, I said both. I said you can make a case for either way. So
yeah, so you've
that I certainly would like to go
ideas?
on.
Well, no, it's a reasonable question. What's that mean? Freshen up?
Well,
different
that's what they told me. Yeah, I
maybe
think a different voice, and maybe they think with a younger squad they just need a new person.
Maybe he should go with you. Do you think, perhaps?
No, I think David's been good for the club. I think he's been terrific. There's been good support for me as well, so I certainly can't sort of query that angle either.
Do you think, I don't reckon, I'm a simple man, as you well know. I've spoken to you only a few times in your career, but I am a simple man. I don't think you or the club ever recovered from the Jason Ackermanis debacle last year, which you blamed me for, incidentally.
Is that right, Sam?
Well, you did. You said that I betrayed his confidence, which I did.
Well, I'm just being truthful.
No, I did betray his confidence, but I didn't realise this was the Geneva War Conventions, and I couldn't have a chat to him privately about something, which I did betray his confidence. Is that where it started to slide sideways?
No, I don't think so. That either Jason left, and whether that decision's right or wrong, or was told to leave. Whether that decision was right or wrong, it's like the decision to get rid of me, whether it's like the decision me, as I said, with a player. You make decisions and you live by those, whether they're right or wrong.
Was he good value at the club?
Oh, he was terrific. He's a fantastic player. And we know he's a great player.
Well, why just sack him then?
Well, we've been through all that, Sam. I don't think we need to rehash that.
Well, he continues to talk, though, Jason, doesn't he?
Yeah,
he's had another game. Does that disappoint you that he continues to...
I think it's unfortunate because I had a good relationship with Jason, and he was a fantastic player for us. His last year, he obviously struggled a bit, but that's fine. There's probably reasons for that. But, I mean, hopefully he's going to be remembered as a great player that he was. And I think, unfortunately, Jason, at time when he gets aggrieved, he likes to... I suppose, vent his spleen.
He gets personal though. He called you a perennial bridesmaid and that the problem was you yourself.
That's fine. Look, I've got no problem with what Jason says, and that's the same with every other person in our club. He's got personal as well. So, I mean, it's just unfortunate.
Rocket, can I talk about the future? Where are you headed now? Gary obviously is overseeing a process where Melbourne are going to be appointing a senior coach. There are 2 other clubs in search of one. What are you seeing?
2 other clubs. Well, one of them's out for me.
Of course. So what are you seeing? That is very good point you make, Rocket. Are you liking the look of potentially Melbourne, or would you go interstate again to senior coach? What's going on?
Yeah, as I said, it's just happened the last couple of days, so I've just got to collect my thoughts a bit and maybe a little bit of time off for about a week or so. And
it's still burning in your guts?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, as I said at the press conference yesterday, that I want to coach again. I've got great passion for it. I think at my time at Sydney, I was spent, and I thought I might have needed a year off. I had 2 years off, but I think now I'm fine. Certainly got a passion for it. Certainly the development side and the actual teaching side. That's a fairly strong suit. So, and I certainly love the cut and thrust of match day.
Just on that, Rocket, have you changed your coaching style this year?
I've certainly changed a lot since I've come to Melbourne. There's no doubt about that. You've got different lads to coach. Obviously, I'm a reasonably demanding coach, and I make no apologies for that. But by the same token, when we were struggling, I think the players needed more belief in themselves and confidence. So it was more about that sort of coaching one-on-one with them, I suppose, which I do one-on-one anyway, but it was more about the group to believe, especially when you got belted by 100 points. It's about, I think, being able to bounce back up.
Yeah.
Did you go into preservation mode, survival mode, by not taking any risks at the selection table? Some of your critics say you just stuck with the old players and didn't take any risks, which could be the biggest risk of all. Rocket.
Is that this year or previous years?
No, this is this year.
Oh no, we've changed the side.
At the end of 2009, Brad Johnson, Acker, Eagleton, you elected to go with those boys again.
Yeah.
In hindsight, do you think it was the right call? And could you have been a bit bolder? And
that's a fair criticism. Brad had finished 4th in the best and fairest, so I think it was fair for him to go on, and he had a great season. Nathan and Jason were probably, you could say, maybe not. But their form was okay the year before as well, and you think, especially Jason's got a match-winning ability, even if he comes off the bench at times, can he actually kick a goal? So that was the thinking about that. Hindsight's a lovely thing, there's no doubt. I think this year we've changed the side a lot. We've introduced, I think there's eight or nine debutants, there's another 2 at the weekend. So I think the future of the club's okay.
Has the window of opportunity for success in the near future passed the Western Bulldogs by?
You mean success as winning a premiership?
Well, yes. well, doing a little better than you are at the minute.
Well, they probably can do better next year. You know, they get Lake back. Well, Lake getting back, playing a full season, there's no doubt.
Do you think Brian Lake will be there next year?
Yeah, I do.
You do?
Yep.
There were some issues this year. I mean, he had a knee injury, and if not Brian himself, certainly those close to him think that was really badly managed. That's their understanding of it all.
Yeah, I think that's probably a misconception, to be honest. Brian had a serious knee injury. He had 3 operations. The hip and the shoulder weren't as bad, but the knee was a big operation. He got that in round 22 of last year, and he played all the finals. He couldn't train. He played on needles the whole time, so it was a great effort for him to be able to do that. But it was a bad knee injury. He started running about mid-January, so he had a 10-week period for fitness. So he had he's had a fairly big pre-season, so he's fit enough. The medical department and the surgeon have said he'll play with a bit of pain, but he's right to go. He won't do any more damage. Now, Brian had a bit of pain. He said he didn't have power in his leg. He'd played 3 or 4 games for Williamstown, so all the ducks were lining up, but he just couldn't be able to perform with it. So
is that when you got? And I think it was on Triple M on a radio interview we did with you before a game. I think. I don't know if I'm paraphrasing, but you might have said he was mentally weak.
No, I didn't say that.
Or James Fantasia?
No, I think it might have been Brett Montgomery.
Yeah. I beg your pardon. Brett Montgomery.
That's the second thing you got wrong. You told me that Garlic played under him at Western.
You also alluded, you raised the question about whether he had the ability to carry injuries.
Yeah, I think Brett didn't say, well, I think people interpret that. I think what he was saying, Brian had some pain in his knee. Now, we can't measure what pain that is. He was saying some pain. The advice we're getting from the surgeon and medical department, he's going to have some pain, be able to push through that. Then he's got a scratch in the eye, then he got a calf injury, then he had a swollen knee, which he had an arthroscope. And when he's under arthroscope, they said there's still a management operation they could do, which is not urgent. So we thought about putting him away. What's best for Brian? What's best for the club? Put him away so he's right for day one of pre-season. So he'll be right for pre-season next year, and I'm sure he'll play well.
Rodney, can we see the Western Bulldogs winning a premiership before the next ice age?
Yes, we can, Sam.
Well, but it's slipped by, has it, do you think?
At the moment, yeah, I think they're in a transitional phase. There's no doubt about that.
So this could be some long years for the faithful Bulldog supporter while we rebuild.
Well, it depends what you mean by rebuild. I mean, is rebuild go down to the bottom and actually get early draft picks, or is...
Well, Dave says freshen up.
I think there'll be about 6 to 10. I think they've got capabilities of that. They can make finals, there's no doubt. Got some good kids, and they've got a good bunch of senior players. If they get injuries to key players, well, it hurts them like it hurt this year. You got Cooney, you got Lake, you got Morris with a broken leg. If they can all get back, they'll be fine.
Rocket, stay with us because we're going to take a look at your former team against Port Adelaide. Of course, Amy Stadium on Sunday this game. Coming off 164 5-point thumping at the hands of the Hawks, Port have now lost their last 8 games in a row. If you don't mind, Brogan, Motlop, Logan, Stewart and O'Shea come in for Kane Corns, who has been omitted, and Salter, who's out with a calf. As we look at the Doggies under new coach Paul Williams, Ben Hudson has been omitted. Dale Morris, as you just heard from Rocket, has a broken leg, of course. Dogs have won their last 4 in a row against the Power. We might head over to Bill Brownlow and get his thoughts on this one, Bill.
Look, you think the Western Bulldogs will win under Paul Williams, of course, this week. Rocket, with Ace Cordy and also Jason Tutt, is that every player on the list that has, if these two play, has played this year?
I think the only one is Pat Vespremi as well. That'll be his first game if he plays. I think the only one left is Tom Hill.
So there's only one to go.
Who's been on long-term injury. So so we've virtually played every player. Or we, they.
I'll go with the Doggies for Rocket.
I'm going to go with the Bulldogs. We experienced it in 09. We had a change of coach. I think having a new coach come in sometimes can just freshen the boys up a bit, and I think they'll get the job done over there.
Yeah, I also have to agree with the boys here. I think the Dogs will show a bit of respect for Rocket and get the win for him on the weekend.
Rocket, can we... So much is spoken about footy clubs that, from the outside it's staggering. When you're not inside the tent, you don't know what's going on. We hear so many things. We hear that your relationship with James Fantasia had got to the point where you didn't speak to each other and you had internal sort of issues.
That's not right. Things like that get blown up. James and I had a good working relationship.
Have we got anything right tonight, any of us?
That we weren't friends, if you want to know that, but the fact we were very professional about the way we went about it.
You presented your strategic plan to the board down in Red Hill or something?
Yeah, they actually did it the Thursday before to the subcommittee, then on the Monday.
Got called back on Monday. So once you presented that, the feedback you got from the people you presented to, was it that it wasn't good enough or it wasn't where they wanted the club to go? What was that? Was that the sort of breaking point? Because the decision, your manager then asked to bring the decision forward.
That's, there's a bit of conjecture about that one too, but anyway, it's not a big point. There was a little bit of feedback. They just thought they needed to refresh, needed to renew.
Do you think there's any chance that Port Adelaide could do the right thing by you and belt the living suitcase out of the Western Bulldogs, Rocket? Wouldn't we just giggle if that happened?
I think the Bulldogs will win. I think.
Do you hope they do?
Yes, I do. I think what the Bulldogs, which they'll have to have a worry because of their injuries to the back six. They've got a lot of injuries there. Motlop, Schultz, Gray. Now they've got some talent in their forward line, so that's the thing they've got to watch.
We've got 2 quick ones. We're going to let you go. I mean, we could talk all night.
We could.
Leon Cameron, do you think he's hotly touted? Do you think he's the right man? I don't know whether you know. Well, obviously you know about Leon as an assistant.
Well, he's certainly got the credentials to coach. There's no doubt he's very impressive. Whether he's the right man, I don't know because I don't know the other candidates.
Yep.
So.
And Callum Ward, of course, who's a star young player of yours who, again, like Tom Scully at Melbourne, has been under enormous pressure from Greater West Sydney. What do you think's happening there? Have you spoke? How did you address it with him through the course of the year?
It's a bit like the Harborough one. I spoke to Jared a bit last year about it and said if he could let us know, which he didn't, and he obviously knew early in the year. I spoke to Callum the other day for the first time last week and said, listen, I don't want to put any pressure on you, but if it's any help to you, I know that's the pressure you've got. Think your way through it. And he said he was 50-50. So he said he hadn't made a decision. You hear rumours that he has and that he's actually going to go.
Do you think he'll go?
I've got no idea. Again, 50-50. Yeah, I think he might.
Rocket, one more from me. If you never coach senior footy again, and therefore you miss out on a premiership you've been so close to, the Sydney Swans, you got to a grand final, as Gary said in the introduction, 3 preliminary finals. Will that burn in your guts forever?
No.
Will that be a stone in your shoe?
No, not at all. No, I think, that I certainly know I've done everything I can. I've been pleased and happy with what we've done so far as at the 2 clubs. Haven't reached it for various reasons, but hopefully I can get another job.
Did I grovel too much when I rang you about Jason Nakamanus and said, I'm sorry, I've said the wrong...
That was very unusual, Sam, that you did that.
I grovelled, didn't I?
You did
I
a bit, yeah.
Don't sack him on, don't sack him on my behalf, on account of me, don't. Because I think
and we didn't.
No, but I think you've spoken about him 4 times tonight, saying he was a great player and he was terrific. I think you might have cut your nose off to spite your face with him, sacking him.
Oh, well, the club will have to live with that.
Well, do you agree with that?
No, I don't.
It's hard to replace good players, no matter what they do.
Yeah, that's right. And it was hard to replace Chris Grant. So, Scott West.
Ted Whitten.
Ted Whitten. Johnny Schultz.
Keep winding. What we need to do is respect Rodney Eade for coming in and thank him very much. You've been a star.
Take a break, plenty more still to come. We've got Mailbag coming up and Sam hits the golf course. All right,
for your chance to sit in the best seats in the house, and this is our seats. Simply visit our website, footyshow.com.au. Tell us in 25 words or less the most powerful thing you have ever done, and you could be joining us live here in the studio. It's all thanks to Australia's most powerful tradie, the Nissan Navara. Tonight's winner, Peter Knight, had to change a tyre, Gary, but had no jack, so he lifted the car with his bare hands. Come on,
Two of us.
That's unbelievable.
It was 2 of us.
We're saying 2 tyres.
No, which
2
one
tyres?
is it?
No, there was 2 of us lifting the one corner of the car.
Okay.
Which bloke, Jim, him or the other one?
That was it.
Well, you're very welcome, Pete. Enjoy the power seats. You'll have a ball up there as we swing from the mighty Nissan Navara to the mighty Sam's Mailbag.
Didn't we belt the rocket about? Didn't we smack him into every corner of the park?
A very, very good media performer and played a very, very straight bat, he did.
Yeah, it's a pity we hadn't asked him some questions that were accurate. Now, Jabba, this is his name, Jabba Spitter, of Moama in New South Wales. He gets straight to the point. Newman, what do you take your viewers for? Oh, that's a very good... That was such an obvious setup with those pony droppings last week. You come back from a commercial, it's all over the floor, and you conveniently have a pooper scooper on hand, you have a peg on your nose. How fake can you get? Even faker than your forehead. Newman, and believe me, that is fake. So, Jabba, you think we set that up? Well, I'll tell you what, mate, we had the camera. If you think we set this up and we could contrive this, this was what happened during the commercial break last week.
It's a fox. I'm not sure we need to go again with that. Look at Gary. There we are.
So, you thought that was fake, do you? I can tell you the horse smelt like the armpits in a gypsy fortune teller's parlour. The horse crapped itself. I had to pick it up. If you think we can contrive that, Gaz.
We got the point there, yep.
All right, Gary, I'm sorry.
Yes.
And what did you ride you rode the horse home, did you?
No, I did not.
What'd you do with the horse, Gary?
You rode it back to Inverloch, didn't you?
Did you? You take that
I
horse.
stunk him. I didn't take it.
Yes. Into the pub goes Gary. That's it. That's you on horseback, Gary.
Jason of Wangaratta. Jason, look at that. Hello, Mr. Newman. Well, we got the title almost correct. The Yarrawonga Mulwala.
Mulwala.
I knew you were going to correct me, Gary. It wouldn't have mattered how I said it.
No, well,
the Yarrawonga Mulwala Cricket Club was created 4 years ago and our local association disbanded. After 4 years, we still do not have a nickname. We were wondering whether you would mind if we called our club the Fossils. Our town adjoins Lake Mulwala, so there are lots of dead carp in it, which eventually turn into fossils.
Yeah. Continuous link, but yeah.
Sounds great, but here is the kicker, Gary. Here is the kicker. Seeing as you are wealthy, we would like $10,000 from you to have our club named after you. I thought it worked the other way around. If they pinch your name, they pay you for your intellectual property.
That's right. I would have thought so.
You do love your cricket,
Lucky
though,
they didn't
Foss.
ask for 100. What?
You do love your cricket, though. You're a cricket devotee.
Oh, yes. I've played a lot of cricket
You
in my
have,
youth.
and you got a natural athletic bowling action, we know.
I can roll the arm
I've
over,
seen it,
given an opportunity.
I think we might have some vision here of some of your sharpest work. Bowling to the Australian cricket captain there.
I think
Look at the leggy.
he's trying to throw that one out the back of the hand.
That's warning.
Got some cricketing royalty, of course, in present company here, Jim. I'm
Yeah,
not
of course you have. I've
not
played a
talking
lot
about
of very,
Jim. His
very good
great
cricket.
father, Ian Brayshaw,
yeah.
was in the audience here down the front, who took how many wickets in one particular?
10 for 44.
10
the
for
last
44. Ian
time it's
Brayshaw,
been
ladies and
done
gentlemen,
in
father of
this
Jim.
country.
We'll see you there, Jim. 10 for Fox. Hey, took all 10 wickets in one game.
I know that.
All 10.
I know that. I've played golf with him several times, and he
talk
never
about
stops
golf.
mentioning it. What about the other half?
Yeah, the beautiful Jones parked there as
That's
well.
your mother.
I didn't know Joan was
Absolutely.
here.
Joni's here.
Lucky to see you two, John.
Move on, Sam. Next.
I didn't know your mum was here. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, well,
You can see where I get my striking good
Sam
looks
did.
from.
Sam found she was here early. So you having a chat to us, Sam?
yeah, I haven't quite got to chatting up the fathers of the panel members yet, or their wives, Bill. So, hey, Sam, says Matthew of Melbourne, since the Stretcher Express van is taking the stretcher tape around people who want it, you know, the stretcher van.
We loved it. Yeah, you took it to
beautiful
Channel
bit of
10
vision.
last week.
I was wondering if you could bring it to our school, this is true, at lunchtime, 1:10 p.m. Luther College, Croydon. Thanks, Matt. Matt, we were just being stupid last week delivering the tape to Gary, to Stevie Quartermain at Channel 10, as if we'd deliver a tape to a school. Of course we wouldn't. We delivered it today at the request to a lawn bowls club.
Here it is. Which club was it, Fox?
It was the girls, well done. Very good.
Kew Heights.
Kew Heights is where it was. Don't miss out. Gaz, isn't this sensational? Right, this is it. You want to see it? They wanted to see it. There they are. Gary on the stretcher.
There we are.
It is.
Play.
They wanted it again, Gaz.
Like it, Gary. Fox. Yeah, that's it.
That's highbrow stuff.
Highbrow stuff. Fossil.
Yes.
Any of your old flames down there at the Kew Heights Bowling Club? Any of your past conquests?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Just a couple of old embers in the back of the that fell apart when I poked them.
Well, I think we may have. This is a question that might have been asked when you were down there. Let's have a look.
Just put your hand up if anyone here has ever dated Sam before. Is there anyone? Oh, you got one?
Hands up, everyone.
Two. Oh,
I like it.
Very sharp stuff from Samuel. If you want to be involved in Sam's mailbag, this is what you need to do. Get your entry or letters in to GPO Box 9, Melbourne, Victoria 3001, or sams.mailbag@9.com.au, footyshow.com.au. Go to the next game. Spitter, this is your team, North Melbourne, taking on Fremantle, Saturday night, Eddie Stadium. Kangaroos, big game. Still alive in the hunt for the finals. Grimer, Hansen and Mullet come in. Tarrant, Atley and Richardson out. Lost to Hawthorn by 17 points, having led with about 4 minutes to go. So in some pretty good form, and the bye last week. So they should be fresh. They take on Fremantle, who have hit the wall. Lost to Carlton by 30 points over there in Subi last week. They are 9th on the ladder, so the importance of this game can't be overstated. McPhee, Mundy, Palmer and Pitt all back in. Good inclusion. Stuffield, Folks, Lower and Pearce omitted. Brett, the loser out of the race for the finals. The winner very much alive.
Yeah, key game for the Roos. It's interesting that the Dockers have never defeated the Dockers at Etihad Stadium.
Hang on.
Dockers, what did I say?
The Dockers have never defeated themselves.
They haven't. No, the Dockers have never defeated the Roos at Etihad Stadium in their history. On that, I'm going to go for the Roos.
Very good. I know you got something you want to say there, Spitter, but very good to see Nathan Grimer. Aaron Mullet's come off the rookie list, who's a really good young player, so it's great to see an elevated rookie come into any footy team, so really pleased for him. And also Nani, who's had an up and down season.
Yeah, he has. I think he's had a couple of injuries, which has probably stopped him from reaching the form that he was in last year. But you know, good to have him back in. Played in with Werribee in the VFL for a couple of weeks and playing some great footy now and really key part of our team.
Good time to have the bye.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
What'd you do?
What do we do? Not a lot. Just sort of sat around Melbourne, went down to the Yarra Valley and sampled a few wines down there.
Very good.
So,
Got the hot air balloons. That's what they do down there, though.
No, not down there. No, just enjoyed a bit of a break. I think we played 17 weeks in a row.
Down drinking down at the Yarra Valley, were you, mate?
Just one or two.
Were you?
Yeah, just a couple.
We did very quickly mention, Bill, before you get stuck in, that the Cracker stage play. This is a play about the great Jim and Phil Cracker. Spitter is going around Melbourne and also country Victoria through August and September.
A musical, Jim?
No, it isn't. It's a play and it's absolutely fantastic. You can get there through deckchairtheatre.com.au for more info and ticket details.
Have you been to it?
No, I haven't.
How does it go? What's its premise?
It's a story about the life. It's on the back of Brother Boys, which is a fantastic book about the life of Jim and Phil, who are both rippers, and we see them at the club from time to time. So deckchairtheatre.com.au to find out about that. Did you give a tip here, Bill?
North, Jim. I think you're still alive for the finals.
Samuel?
Did you say North Melbourne have never been beaten by Fremantle?
That is correct. Yeah.
Ever?
At Etihad.
Oh, at Etihad.
In Fremantle's history.
At Etihad.
That'd be it.
3 for 3.
Etihad. Well,
yeah, at Etihad.
Well, that's what it says here, Sam. In my notes that I've taken down.
What about when it was called the Colonial Stadium or Telstra Dome?
I'll have to do some research.
Just at Etihad.
Samuel.
Yeah, sorry.
The tip, please.
Okay. I'm going on his advice that they've never been beaten at Etihad.
And I'm following you. Just should also make mention of Anthony Grover, who's a wonderful player, a veteran at the Fremantle Footy Club, plays game number 200 on the weekend. So well done to Andy Grover. Before we go this next game, Brett, your coach, you love Damien Hardwick down there. You love Dimmer, and it was a very special day for him today, I believe.
Big day for Dimmer today.
This was his press conference, and just have a look at this. It's invaded by the Richmond boys. What's going on? Whose idea was this? Who was the suck that did this?
Jack's always at the front of that sort of stuff. He class clown, as you can see. But he's probably the coach's pet, so Dimmer takes pretty fondly to that sort of stuff.
Lucky they didn't throw it in his face. Get into a lot of trouble with that.
Coming off, yes.
You can, Samuel.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Tigers, they play Melbourne. This is a big game too. Billy, go.
Big game goes your Melbourne side. Lost to West Coast last week. A couple of changes you've made this week, bringing Brad Green, Liam Jarrah, Jetta and Bennell. And out goes Tapscott, who's been a good player. General Saunders, Davey plays his 150th. Take on the mighty Tigers. And beautiful win last week. 43 points over Sydney. They belted Sydney. Out goes Jakey Batchelor with that shoulder in white. Nason, Jeremy Weberly. And Jimmy O'Reilly, he's an Irish boy from
Ireland.
Yeah, good work, bro. He's from Ireland. So, big game. I like the Tigers. They were very good last week. And if Cochin, Martin and Deludio are all in the best, they win.
Yeah. All right. Andrew?
Yep, D's won their past 3 against the Tigers, but I think they hit a bit of form last week, and the man next to me playing super footy at the moment, and they should get it done.
Brett, where are you playing on Sunday? What position?
Classified that. Is Gary?
Classified unit.
Half-back.
And I'll be at half-back most likely, Gary, I'd say, yeah.
And Trent Cotchin back into ripping form.
Jack
Jack.
Cotchin playing very well at the moment, yes.
All right.
How do you like it, Foss?
I'll be interested in your tip here, Samuel. Melbourne can still make the finals, you know, if they win the next 3. That is true.
And what can Richmond make them?
No.
I see. Okay, well, let's go for the D's then. I noticed Mr. Pettard is playing.
Ricky.
Yeah, and I noticed
Playing
he
his
and
50th game
Mr.
too.
McGinnity of the Eagles.
Not playing.
No, not playing, because they had a little banter last week. At the AFL, can you tell me this, Gary? I'm asking you now as an elder statesman. Are the AFL going to bring out a compendium or a pocketbook or a guide next year as to actually what you can and can't say on a football field?
No.
You know, just phrases.
No, they won't.
They won't.
No.
So it's just going to be up
Common
to...
sense would prevail, I would imagine.
Well, who decides what is okay to say and what is...
Person being vilified.
Well, who's vilified? There was no racial vilification and there was no religious persecution.
Misconduct.
So who decides the severity or otherwise of what you can say on a football
Well,
field?
in this instance, it was his own club, Foss, because he was suspended by his own club.
I'm just asking, are the AFL going to bring out a compendium of phrases that are off limits?
There is a, what's it called, the misconduct...
Well, I
bring the game
know
into
that's what it is. Who tells you what line you can go to and what line you can't go to?
Common sense prevails.
Well, if I called you...
Yes, and it'd be up to me whether I take offence.
No, but that's
That's the way it is in the modern society, Samuel. It is not what...
If I called you an old sausage...
No, I don't take offence to that.
Well, then who decides...
I do.
You do,
Yeah.
do you?
The person you're vilifying.
So if I said you are an old sausage and you said I take exception to that...
common sense prevail. That is not offensive, being a
Well,
sausage.
then who decides...
Well, if you said the things about my mother...
No, I'm not...
That boy did...
that
then
is
I
offensive.
then I would take offence.
That is offensive.
Well, there you go.
No, there you don't go.
Yes, you do.
Who decides next week what is beyond the pale or what is not? Do we have a guide? Can we have a list of acceptable sayings?
Racial, religious,
yes,
sexual...
none of that. What? Sexual?
Yes.
Oh, so I can't say you're an F-wit on the football field?
No.
I can't say that?
Yes, of course you can.
Oh, well, I can.
Well, what's sexual about that?
Well, I think effing is
no,
sex.
it's not. Not in that context, it's not. Not in that context, it's not.
Wrong context.
It's an adjective. It's a descriptive word.
Isn't it ever?
Anyway, we get bogged down. It's a common
but
sense.
it's-
I commend the AFL for what they've done.
Well, it was
And
the West Coast,
Coast
yeah,
team.
exactly. It was the club that did it, Foss.
On that note, Samuel...
I'm not
Yes,
commending them. I'm not commending them. I'm saying, could we have a list
well,
of
you
acceptable
can't.
phrases?
You can't.
I beg your pardon?
You can't. Samuel
That's
takes on
unacceptable.
the world's best golfer, junior
Age
golfer,
9.
10-year-old
Yeah, exactly.
Carl Phillips. That's next on the Footy Show.
Very nice, Voss.
And in 2020, when he wins the Masters at Augusta, we're going to replay that.
Turned 10 on Tuesday, Carl Phillips.
Plays off
And
11.
he won the world under junior, whatever it's called.
Now, it was a horrible day out there, but he
It was-
legitimately can play, obviously.
Mate, he just played great.
Fantastic.
Wow, that's fantastic, as is this. The news, your full wrap, we teared off the top. It's going to be comprehensive. He's here now. Damien Barrett, welcome in, please. Hello, Damo. Chris Dawes, Damo, from Collingwood. Big part of their premiership plans, and he's had a bit of an upset.
Yeah, and it's not with the hand that he damaged some weeks ago, guys. That is now actually okay, but he has had a nick to the calf, which is going to keep him out of all sorts of footy this week. Been told he could be a chance for round 23 against Fremantle, almost certainly round 24, but it's just another couple of weeks being added, maybe a total of 3 weeks added onto the situation he had with the hand already, and obviously added to Shaw and Maxwell, management issues for Collingwood coming into the finals, and to the Ndiaye, who's yet to be fit. It's just yet another little setback for Collingwood, which is managing it obviously very, very well to this point, but yeah, Chris Dawes just have a nick on the calf in a training incident last week.
Pen poised I have, Damo, because you're going to tell us what's happening in the world of coaching, in particular with the 3 vacancies. So I'm ready to write all this down.
It'd help if you were a bit more open about what you're doing, Gary, with your club, being one of the 3 that's out of a coach at the moment. The Crows, though, they did actually approach Alistair Clarkson, who did give them a reasonably emphatic no to going to Adelaide. And as we exclusively told you last week, he will be staying at Hawthorn. The board has come to that conclusion, and the deal will be with him very shortly, and it will be signed. That also seemingly, or that does thwart Melbourne's bid also. We do believe that Melbourne also put in a sort of offer, Gary, and I don't expect you to confirm or deny that, but there was a... He never does.
Well, did you put in an offer?
No comment, Sam.
We believe they did, Sam.
What do you mean, no comment? What sort of... This is
That's his standard line, Sam. Well, let's move on. What it means, though, is that the processes of both Adelaide and the Bulldogs will now take a pretty, I suppose, expected path. They'll be pretty similar. They're both going to look between 8 and 12 candidates. They're going to be the usual suspects in this sense. They're going to be development, untried style coaches. The Bulldogs may work down toward a short list of 5. The Crows will probably go one shorter than that, down to 4. Obviously, the favourite for the Bulldogs is Leon Cameron. The favourite for the Crows is Mark Bickley. But Mark Neild is going to emerge in this whole process, and could well be at your club too, Gary, as a real possibility. And he could have to make a choice at some stage as to which job he doesn't and does apply for.
Wait for it. Any comment on that, Gary?
No comment.
Okay.
He's emerging, Sam, as a real key, whether it be this year or next year, but will coach senior footy at some stage pretty soon. Scott Burns is also in the running there, as is Ken Hinkley, Alan Richardson. Gavin Brown also falls into the wildcard options, as does Adam Simpson and also Brendan McCartney. Just on the Bulldogs, there is a small group of supporters considering using the round 24 game at Etihad Stadium to set up a petition which would seek a certain amount of signatures required to call an EGM. It is only talk at this stage. We've spoken to a couple of those people today. They're just wavering at the moment, but they have discussed it and have spoken about it with certain people.
Not uncommon. Supporters can get upset and unrest reigns for a little while, but then wiser heads prevail.
Correct, and it must be stressed on this matter. It is it's just your common support on this. It's not your high-end supporter.
Yeah, happy to comment about Western Bulldogs, eh?
Yep.
Yeah, not about Melbourne, though.
You know, what's going on with your hair? Fix that while I talk to Damien about Greater Western Sydney, a side are very active in terms of obviously getting their list together for this year, but the big move, and if we get our eyes off the ball, it is what they're doing for season 2013, including our man's club, North Melbourne.
Yeah, and the reason, Gaz, that is an issue for North Melbourne is because Todd Goldstein now is being targeted very aggressively by GWS. They actually made an approach to him last year. They've made another one in the past, I believe in the past 6 weeks. North Melbourne is well aware of it. He is contracted until the end of next year, but that doesn't preclude him from being a possibility at the GWS. As we know, they've got a 2-year window to get on contracted players, and he is now a very high target of that club, along with Brendan Goddard and also Scott Pendlebury. So it's not just the players that they're targeting for this year, but they are making inroads for next year as well.
That's not much better. Jim, is your footy club? I'm not sure whether you can comment on this.
No, I can
You
comment.
are aware of their interest in your man, Todd Goldstein?
Very aware, and he will be going nowhere, Gary. He is going to be an All-Australian this year, Todd Goldstein. He's having an elite season. And Spitter, why don't we throw this over to you? You have much closer ties to him than any of us, given that he's alongside you running down the race. What do you think?
Yeah, I actually didn't even know he'd been approached, but I was speaking to him yesterday, and he's very happy. He's got a little daughter and very settled in Melbourne, so he said he's not going anywhere, and be good because he's putting the ball down our throats. So, when you've got a pretty good midfield running around now with myself and Daniel Wells and Jackie Zeeble, I think he's settled here.
Good.
You might wonder, this is Starsky here, and you might wonder where Hutch has been.
Hutchie, yep.
Yeah, Hutchie?
Yep.
Yeah.
Where has he been?
Well, we can reveal, the Footy Show can reveal where Hutchie's been on the buses. You might think he's been on the trams. This was in the paper today, the Herald Sun.
Oh, no.
That is him there. He's been widely... That's him there?
Yeah.
Somewhere there. And he's a tram conductor. He's been driving trams around and driving into people. He's got a little website up, so that's what he's been doing, moonlighting.
We're not sure that is Hutchie, but nicely done, Samuel. And nicely done, Damien Barrett. Please thank you. Nicely done. Very good work. Right, going to get through our nominations for the Charlie Sheen medal, of course.
It's called Charlie Sheen.
This goes to some crazy stuff that's happening. Damien Barrett leads us. Our first nominee comes all the way from Canada, the NHL, that's the Hockey League's latest franchise team, Winnipeg. They are announcing their nickname, the Jets, and it would appear that one of their fans goes a little overboard in celebrating.
First of all, I'd like to say hello to all our great fans in Winnipeg at the MTS Centre.
There he goes.
St. John's, Newfoundland.
He's a touch excited, Jim, that man.
Great fans that have made it all the way here to
So
Minneapolis.
an exciting draft, but don't go overboard at this year's draft if you wouldn't mind.
No. Our next nomination is an Aussie abroad, IndyCar driver Will Power, a good Queensland boy. And he wasn't happy after being taken out after a restart in wet conditions and gave the officials the old double banger. There he is.
And of course, that vision reminded us of someone else, didn't it, Andrew? Last year when you played against your brother. This is your dad in the crowd. Have a look at him there. I'm on camera. That is Ian.
A double billiard from Ian.
Yes.
The Forks.
So we like that as a Charlie Sheen nomination, as do we like this one. This is a man by the name of Nathan Gardner, Cronulla, one of his finest. And just have a look at this tackle work here. He gets taken from behind and then they won't let him go, Gary.
Dacking Jim.
She's a full dacking.
Have a look at this.
And big Jamal Idris
He got no jocks on.
wasn't letting him go, Bill.
He hasn't got any jocks on at all. Fantastic.
Lucky Johnny Hopawada wasn't playing. He would have just snuck in and exercised the option, Gary.
And
just
lastly,
gone whack.
while DeLids and the Tigers were killing the Swannies, we've got to spare a thought for old Horse Longmire. Have a look at him in the box here. Not happy, Jan. He is just going nuts. Look at him. This is Horse in the box last week. He just couldn't believe it.
Normally very calm and quiet.
Normally.
Big
Oh,
horse.
the
But our
horse.
winner this week, of course, goes to the ABC. You probably saw this by now, but we need to give it a run. It's a thrilling and exciting game that was telecast on Saturday. It was Port Melbourne versus Werribee, I reckon.
Williamstown.
Sorry. Dying moments. Have a look at this. Look at the time on the clock.
Bottom of the screen there.
It's a
Thanks for
thriller.
joining us. We'll be back with more VFL next Saturday afternoon.
But wait, they're going into attack. It might be the first loss for the year. Hang on, don't go to the ad.
On ABC One tonight, Stephen Fry and
You can't do that.
spreading rumours in
You can't
Lapland.
do that, Samuel. That is the ABC. Go into their show. So they are the winner of the Charlie Medal. Charlie Sheen medal.
Beautifully done. Next game, we're going to take a look at the West Coast Eagles take on Essendon. This is a big game. Patterson Stadium, Saturday. West Coast a real chance to squeeze into the top four, guarantee a home final. Brown and McGinnity have been replaced by Glass and Waters for the West Coast Eagles. As we look at the Essendon Football Club, the Bombers won their last two, but they haven't beaten West Coast in Perth since round 21, 2001. Big outs for the Bombers. Dyson Pears and Hurley make way for Lovett, Murray, Myers and Bell Chambers. What do you think of that, Bill?
Oh, look, I think West Coast will win over there. A couple of very good ins there at Glasswaters. So the West Coast at Patterson. Spit up.
Yep, West Coast for me as well. Really turned it around this year. A couple of players who are playing really well and have started that. Andrew Gaff averaging 31 possessions, and Martin Akoski, he just seems to be kicking goals every week.
Spot on. I'm also going to go for West Coast. Played them a couple of weeks ago over there, and very strong press that they set up, and it's quite hard to get through. So West Coast for mine.
seem to be a ground expert, mate. Is that correct? Haven't won over there since round 21, 2001. Would that be what?
Yeah, spot on.
That's spot on, is it?
Foss?
What?
What do you think?
Oh. Well, Essendon are going, congratulations, they're going very well. I thought they'd just plateaued out, but they're coming again, but I don't think they'll beat the Coasters over there.
We don't, Gary, normally go with the 50-game celebration, but we're going to only because it's Nick Nat Newey who has put 50 reasonable ones together, the number one draft pick. So
he's a very impressive man. I watched him in close quarters last week, and that's why West Coast will win over there against the Essendon Footy Club. A break on the Footy Show, Almost Footy Legends and Street Talk from Seymour still to come.
Doris at home, hope you're enjoying the show. Almost Footy Legends time. How are you enjoying the show?
Yes, good.
Yeah, it's good, mate. Got the Dale in the crowd too, I see. Now we're going to get into this. Here's the first one. Edith Vale Aspendale versus Edith Vale Rovers. Have a look at this snap from the boundary line. That's Swallow like around the corner. Ho-ho, your beauty. Picks it up, snaps it around the corner. And that's not a bad goal, Andrew. What do you got, buddy?
Next one we've got is St Bede's, St Joey's, and guy kicking in, straight into the man of the mark, straight through. Sausage roll, easy sausage roll.
How good's that?
Don't know what he was thinking here.
Just a little passing board and
straight in.
You idiot. And have a look at this one. Wangaratta versus Lavington. Have a look at the hanger here. Justin Hogan goes up and away. Good grab there by Wangaratta boy there. Which one do you like, mate?
I'm going to give it to St Bede's, St Joey's. So kicking into the man on the mark.
All right, what the crowd like? Do you like the first one? So the man into the mark, kicking the man in the mark. What about the hanger? Number 3, Peter Colwell from Wodonga. You've won this.
Thanks to Home Timber and Hardware, our weekly winner takes home $1,000, while our two runners-up receive $500 gift cards to spend at Home Timber and Hardware, the proper hardware store. At the end of the year, our runner-up pockets $20,000 cash thanks to Deep Heat. With a smell of victory, Deep Heat provides fast temporary relief from muscle aches and strains. Deep Heat, the stuff of legends. While our major prize winner drives away in the new Nissan Navara STX 550 with a powerful 170 kilowatt V6 turbo diesel engine, 3,000 kilogram brake towing capacity, 7-speed automatic transmission, 6 airbags and vehicle dynamic control, the Nissan Navara STX 550 is Australia's most powerful tradie.
There it is there. Get your vote off the audience and now send your entries to Almost Footy Legends, GPO Box 9, Melbourne 3001. And don't forget you can upload your legends directly to our website at footyshow.com.au and send them in. That is a fantastic prize. You win that. And also, just wait here, Billy's Dictionary for Blokes.
They're big with that at all.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
Peter from Wodonga has won this, Gazza. That is a great read when you're on the toilet.
All right, well done. Next game, Collingwood and the Brisbane Lions, Saturday night. MCG. Magpies on top of the ladder, beat St Kilda by 19 points. Toovey, Keith, Sinclair and Young. They've lost Johnson and Maxwell, Wellingham and Rounds. New players Tommy Young from Campbelltown, New South Wales ACT. So well done to him, going beautifully. Won their last 12. They're on a very nice winning streak. The Magpies, they take on the Brisbane Lions. 15th on the ladder, beat the Gold Coast by 62 points last week. A very nice performance indeed. One change. Daniel Rich comes back in, the NAB Rising Star winner. Hawksley out, Simon Black back to his very, very best last week. And a nice rivalry over the journey, these two sides, William, but you'd think the Magpies, wouldn't you, at the MCG?
Magpies, they're flying. Got a couple of injuries. Chris Dawes and Sherrod Wellingham. You don't want too many more injuries heading into the finals. Nick Maxwell. Yeah, a few injuries there. Drewy?
Yeah, no, been pretty good. The Lions been pretty competitive, but I think Collingwood will win it quite easily.
Yeah, I have to agree there. The Pies are just cruising along nicely at the moment. Leon Davis, career high 36 last week. So
didn't play on anyone there, Liz. Just cruised around on his own.
Well, they do it half-back, they reckon.
Like you at half-back.
Yes.
Samuel?
Yeah. I reckon the Collingwood could have 12 injuries and then they might start to struggle, so I don't think maybe.
Very strong.
Yeah.
Very strong team.
I tell you, Gary, you I think tipped Collingwood, didn't you, when you did that before? Okay.
Go on. What?
I was just going to. We mentioned off the top that Andrew Swallow was married very young. I think he was 23 when he was married.
21.
21. Well, we have a very good reason why he was, because his beautiful wife Elise is in the crowd here. She is the beautiful Elise. So hello to Elise Swallow. And Sarah Pedersen sitting next to her as well, Cam Pedersen's better half. She's just had a baby, so a couple of the Rouge ladies in here. Now, Elise.
Run through the whole side?
No, it was only 2. Elise, 21 Andrew was. I'm guessing you were considerably younger than that when you got married?
No, I'm actually older than Andrew.
Oh, wow. And how is he to be married to...
He's absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Oh. Any sort of imperfections that we haven't sort of found out about?
Well, he's very clean, likes to cook.
What's he cook?
Very
What's
loving.
his signature dish?
Oh, he thinks he cooks a mean lamb roast, but
He's
not
very
much
clean.
else. But no, he likes everything trim and tidy. So we always have to clean everything.
Just tidy around the home. Just like things nice and neat.
I mean,
tidy around the home.
around the house, trim and tidy around the house.
That's it.
Yeah.
Right, I thought we were on to something.
Pretty much how they roll in the modern era.
I think you're right. Not nowadays.
I was married very young.
How many wives you had?
And then when I was reasonably young, and then when I was pretty old, I've been married. What?
How many wives have you had?
What of my own? Now, as we know, Collingwood have announced a campaign to weed out ferals from their supporters group. This is before the campaign. This is now, they're trying to weed out ferals. And if your picture appears there, don't take it personally. This is just a random shot.
Yes.
And after the campaign, this is it.
Fresh one, little visual one. Let's get stuck into the next game. Very nice to see you girls, by the way. Enjoy the rest of the show. The Sydney Swans and St Kilda. This game's at ANZ Stadium on Sunday. Swannies nowhere near their best against Brett Delidio's mob. Now lost 6 of their last 8. It's a big game for the Swans. Kennelly and Roberts Thompson come out for Seaby, Malcheski, White, Spanger and Rowan. Squads, of course, at this stage. O'Keefe, the Super Coach points winner there. Saints looking to shore up their place in the 8. They've won their last 3 against the Swans. Into their squad come Gamble, Lynch and Baker. No outs, Bill. Let's start with you. Brett, as yet, what do you think's going to happen here?
Close game, I think this one, Jim, but I'm interested to see what happens up there at ANZ Stadium, Sam. But
what's the track record of the Saints up at the ANZ?
Tough one. I reckon they've only played there a couple of times, but no idea.
Played there twice, 1 win, 1
He said
loss.
a couple of times.
1 win, 1 loss.
There you go.
Yep.
The Saints have won.
Yep, I agree. I think St Kilda will win. I think they've got their mojo back, and plus we need them to win to give ourselves a chance of making the final.
St Kilda for me. And speaking of the Saints, Jim, their major sponsors, Centrebet, have a fantastic opportunity for Saints fans and footy fans alike. If you've ever dreamt of playing alongside some former St Kilda greats at Etihad Stadium, here's your chance. Simply go to centrebet.com, enter the promo code SaintsDream when you place a $20 bet, and you go into the draw to be part of that once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to play alongside St Kilda legends. Visit centrebet.com for all the details, and don't just watch it.
That's it.
That's it.
Well done, Bill. Centrebet there.
That was good. Good read,
please.
Sam.
St Kilda are my dark horse tip to just go nearly to the end, so I think if we're going to... What do you think, Gasman?
I wonder if we can get the Centrebet odds up, because I think this is an upset brewing here.
Let's have a look.
I think the Sydney Swans are going to gather themselves.
They'll
head
terrible.
to ANZ Stadium and beat St Kilda on the weekend. And
There we are, Gary.
Not that big odds.
No, not that big. Before we do, Brett, I know you've got to mention the Jack Dye medal, which you've forgotten to do 4 times, and you'll get into big trouble.
What is
so
it?
mention it now,
Brett?
can you?
That's our best and fairest, Sam. You should come along.
Why the hell would I come along?
It could be a chance Jack Rewalt could go back-to-back. Trent Cotchin could win his first.
You could win your third.
Yep. We could
Does it
get
cost
along
any
there.
money to come?
I'm sure we could help you out. I'll help you
No,
out.
I don't want anything for nothing. How much is a ticket?
Usually $180.
$180? What, to go to the best and fairest?
It's a great night. Good feed. Crown Palladium. Tickets online at richmondfc.com.au.
$180.
What night was it again?
It is Tuesday, September 13.
Righto, so go to richmondfc.com.au.
Been wearing a headband.
All of the details. I'm not sure about the shag. It's an uncoabrum-like.
Please.
$180, Foss. If you dropped that out of your pocket, it wouldn't be worthwhile stopping to pick it up. We're going to take a break. You went up to Seymour to do street talk, and a man, you need to stick around for this, man got hold of the Foss with some jokes that have to be heard to be believed.
and if you can fill the last one in, we're going to, on Facebook, if you can give, we can't print it, or we can't show it,
Yes.
we'll
How
show
can
it.
they do it if you can't show it?
Well, if you can
Fill in the
complete
gaps.
the end of the joke, which we won't read out, but if you do, we'll give you a very, very big prize.
All right, that's next on The Footy Show.
Hello, boss.
How are you, mate? Good, mate. How's
What's
yourself?
happening?
Oh, SFA, you know, normal life.
SFA?
Yeah.
Sammy Newman. Nice to meet you, mate.
Thank you very much.
They call me Con here.
Conehead?
Con.
Oh, Con. Sorry, I thought you said they call you Conehead. How you going, boss?
Ridiculous.
Hello, sweetheart. How are you? All right.
I love you. No, don't put me on there.
Oh, don't put me on, you'd be joking, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Well,
It's great to see you,
thanks
matey.
very much.
Good on
Hey,
you,
Sammy,
mate.
talk to me. I'm pretty cool. Talk to me. You're pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm not dumb enough to be on street talk, but I'm pretty interesting.
Okay, now...
Kisses.
Fubar. Fubar.
What's Fubo?
Up behind all recognition.
I see. I didn't know that, Fubo.
You're a honey. I love you.
Do you, darling?
Yes.
You're trying to make me burp. You're trying to make me burp. She's trying to make me burp.
Nah, it's all good.
Well, it'll work. There you are.
I reckon they're all piss weak.
Do you, sir?
Yeah, I reckon.
Injuries in football, sir. You ever had any?
I've had a few. Broken collarbone on the MCG playing Oz kick.
You broke your collarbone doing Oz kick.
On the MCG, yeah, half time.
What injuries you had, Clint?
A cartridge.
A cartridge?
Yeah, little, yeah.
I feel inferior.
Do you?
Mentally.
Intimidated.
And in what?
Intimidated? Yeah, not really. I got to go.
I just got cleared for a broken back.
What, what from football?
Yep.
Well, I had an asthmatic attack once.
Well, that's not an injury.
No, it is. Went for a run, Sam, and 5 asthmatics jumped out of the bushes and attacked me. He loves it, doesn't he?
Hooray! You are such a tool. Do you think there's too many injuries in football?
Not enough.
You like a bit of the biffo?
Yeah, well, there's too many.
Fight the shit out of. Do you like do you like? Well, hang on, no.
Yes.
Do you actually have fair dinkum medic, or have you just rented this uniform?
I just put this on to get on TV.
Here's a man who says he's pretty cool. What do you do? They call you Mr. Cool?
No, they call me Subway, Sam, because I've got a foot long.
Yeah, I was on the ladder.
Oh, you're on a ladder.
And the branch hit the bottom of the ladder and knocked my ass over it.
Lucky branch didn't spike you or just go up the clacker or something, sir.
Done enough damage.
You look like a toffee apple if it had gone up your what? Gone up your ort?
I'll catch you later.
All the best.
Yes, I do. I like to have a free show. Yes, I do. Thanks, take the phone. Take the
This is Ray, who's just become a star all of a sudden. He says he's not stupid enough to be on street talk. I'll let you be the judge now,
shit.
Ray. Anything else?
Piss on you too.
What'd you say then?
Huh?
What'd you say then?
I said piss on you. Piss on you too.
He said piss on you.
No. Piss on you too.
Man, he said piss on you too.
No.
Well, have you got a final gem to leave us with, Ray? You know, everyone.
You mean my closing line?
Yeah, closing line. Like, you know. You know, like the foot-long
yeah,
subway.
I can.
Yeah.
Let me out.
Yeah.
What's the injury?
Well, I got a contusion to my brain. Started to bleed just uncontrollably, involuntarily. It just started to weep.
Looks like a bit of Alzheimer's, really.
Working beautifully.
What's the difference between jam and jelly?
Ray is asking what is the difference between jam and jelly, and I'm going to say I don't know. Ray, what is the difference between jam and jelly?
We'll leave it at that.
I'm sorry, we can't go on with that. I'd love to put that to air, but that can close us down. If you think you know the ending to that joke, why don't you give us an email? You won't believe what the ending to that was. Now, for the first time in history, Gary, we got the folk at Bendigo got a little disgruntled at our street talk up there. You know, the man had said he smoked cones and drank piss.
Bendigo.
Yep.
Sorry.
What did I say?
No, it's Seymour there, but Bendigo.
No, Bendigo the week before.
Yep.
And so I tell you what we're going to do.
Go back.
We're going back to Bendigo, and we only went to the mall or the mall in Bendigo because that's the epicentre and we thought that's where we'd go.
Yeah.
If you're not happy with that, you email us or ring us or Twitter us or whatever you do, Facebook, and tell us where we should go in Bendigo because we're going back next week to have another go at it, and we'll go where you tell us to go.
What day are you going back? So everyone at Bendigo.
I don't think we'll tell them that. But we are going back next Tuesday.
All right. Well,
so in the meantime, tell us where you'd like us to go, and we'll speak to some other people in Bendigo if you're not happy with the people we spoke to last time.
That'll be fantastic, as will this, Foss. The game at Metricon Stadium between the Gold Coast and Adelaide. Yet to record a win at their home ground, Gold Coast. Cracker day, I should say. Dixon, Smith, Wilkinson and Lynch out of their side. Tippett, Russell, Thompson, Hunt, Hickey and Nathan Ablett-Bill come in for the Gold Coast Suns. As we take a look at the Adelaide Crows, Barry Bickley's boys just going nicely. 2 wins, had a real crack against the Cats. Knights, Marriage, Henderson and Smith are out. Rutten, Douglas, McKay and Tippett come in. Some good news for Adelaide, Bill, with Bernie Vince and Andy Otten both signing today. That is good, especially Bernard, our man, who some thought might have been leaving. He is staying, and that's great news for Adelaide.
What about the form of Rory Sloane, old man, mate?
Fantastic. The Upway Tacoma flyer.
Exactly. Good luck to Nathan Ablett, who plays his first game, of course, Premiership player of the Cats. Good luck there, but Adelaide for me.
Just quickly want to mention Daniel Harris, retired during the week. Great player, obviously played with Northland, a lot from him. So well done to him on a great career. And I'm going to go for the Suns in an upset. Well done.
Did you know, Sam, that Adelaide have never beaten the Gold Coast at Metricon Stadium?
No, I did not. How do you know that? What'd you say? Have they?
I said the Crows have never beaten the Suns at Metricon Stadium.
Is that right?
Never played there before, Foss, that's what.
Yes, I have. Well, very good, Brett.
Your thoughts on this game, Samuel?
I'm tempted to go for the Coasters, but I reckon I'll go for the Coasters.
Gary?
I'm going to go for Adelaide, Samuel. Well done to Dix. He's got them going beautifully. I want to remind everyone about Footy's Hidden Heroes, which was launched last week with Shane Crawford. Nissan and Breast Cancer Network Australia reaching out to local footy clubs across the country to celebrate women behind the game. Anyone can participate. You've got to nominate the woman or women behind your local footy club. Every nomination, Nissan will donate $1 to Breast Cancer Network in Australia with the aim of reaching $100,000.
And as we just saw, Gary, this week's leading club is the Alexandra Footy Club. Well done to them. The local club with absolutely. Most nominations again. End up with a $25,000 upgrade to their local club and a pink Nissan hosted event. Couldn't be easier. Simply go to footie'shiddenheroes.com.au and nominate your hidden hero.
No, we're doing this. No. Just in case people don't believe these folk are here from the West Coast, this is Paddy and John. And that's them there, and they're your mum and dad's friends. And so put them on, Cav. So there you are, just in case people over in the West don't think you're here, you are.
Yes. Paddy and John with a lifetime nickname of Fat. Good to see you. Very skinny and lovely couple. Beautiful
Sam
people.
keeps talking. Paddy and John will be talking to the Today Show.
We will. We're going to take a break.
We're going to wrap up after this.
organisation that supports kids with cancer, and they're calling on workplaces, sports clubs, families and friends across the nation to hold a pie night in August or September as part of its annual Biggest Aussie Pie Night initiative. There is the website, www, of course, biggestaussiepienight.com, or call 1800 828 855. Every Pie Night host goes into the draw, Gary, to win a magnificent Nissan Navara.
Don't
so
hear,
get
Matt,
stuck
that
into
stupid man right there. Andrew Swallow and Brett Delidio, thanks for coming in, and good luck on the weekend. Samuel? Yes. Well done, Jim. Good luck on the weekend.
Yes,
See you next Thursday night. Good night.
Beaten by a 10-year-old up there. 10 years old.